What's going on, everybody? We're back with another episode of the Trash Talkers Podcast.
We made it.
We made it, folks.
Yeah.
How was your weekend, man?
Oh man, wasn't bad. Wasn't bad. Not a lot of crazy things going on, but it was typical. You know, I'm an introvert, so I don't go out and just look for things to get into. Especially, maybe I did in my younger days, but not so much these days.
No hookers and cocaine this weekend?
No. See, if you go back to when I was in my early 20s, that might have been a regular occurrence. No, I'm just kidding. I was never into the white stuff, man.
Yeah.
The hookers, though. Let me tell you about them.
That's a little. I might do a toot every now and then.
A little every now and then.
Oh man. No, man, my weekend, what did I do this weekend? Actually, I did absolutely nothing.
Oh, that's good.
I did
That's a great weekend for
yeah,
me,
and you know, being, you know, that we work so much, dude, this past Saturday, I literally I woke up, I made breakfast, I played video games, I edited, and watch the fights.
Dude, that's a wonderful weekend.
I didn't even leave the house.
I can't wait for football season.
Yes. Oh man. Well, that's Sunday. We record that day.
That's true, but we get the third. Man, you know what? My favorite game is the Thursday night games.
Why?
I don't know, man. There's just something about coming home. See, I don't work on Fridays.
But you're working on Thursday.
Yeah, I work on Thursdays for sure. But I like to just come home and know that that's the end of my work week, and I get to watch my favorite sport tonight. You know, probably you with the fights. You know?
Yes.
You're like, I don't have to work tomorrow. Oh man, I can just chill and watch this game.
Have me a few drinks, order some wings, and watch some UFC, man.
Yeah.
Man, Smoke Dog, we have a topic today.
What you got?
So we've touched on this in our previous or on a previous episode on the previous Trash Talkers podcast before we reintroduced this one. But Mandela Effect, okay?
Yes, that was one of our biggest topics in the original incarnation of the podcast. Yes.
You know, before we even, you know, start talking about some of the things, like, let's just talk about why is the Mandela Effect? Why is this a new thing? And I can give a brief thing on to why a lot of people think is because you know, I want to say it's in Switzerland or Denmark. CERN, yeah.
Yes.
So CERN is in Switzerland, and CERN is, I can't remember what it stands for, but basically what they do, they have something called a Large Hadron Collider.
Yeah.
And they basically want to recreate a black hole here on Earth. Now, obviously, you know, black holes, they suck in everything around it, but they want to see if they can contain one.
Well, yeah, I will say that's one of the things they're doing, because they're colliding particles.
Yeah,
you know,
they're taking particles and
the speed of light and then smashing them together just to see what happens. And one of the theoretical things that could happen is they could create a tiny black hole. Now, there also is a theory that you can make a tiny black hole that could suck the entire universe into it. You know,
which a lot of people have said, man, that maybe that is, you know, why human existence has, like, people who built the pyramids, we may look at that as primitive technology, but that's highly, I mean, obviously advanced technology. Yeah. Maybe we get so advanced in the future to where we start building pyramids that people have no clue, and then we start slamming atoms in together, and then everything resets, and then the Big Bang comes, and then the dinosaurs, and then we get to this point again in the future, and they're like, man, what is that big old thing in New York City where this lady's holding? It's impossible they could build that. Well, it's the Statue of Liberty. Or you go to Paris and you see the Eiffel Tower. I was like, how did these primitive people do that? Well, to us, it's just the thing in France that just said it, Eiffel Tower.
Yeah.
But it's like, it could be a cycle to where it's like we get so far along in technological advances to where we start experimenting with particles and atoms and slamming them into each other to what, like you said, could theoretically create a black hole. And that could be what's the circle of, you know, human.
Or a lot of people theorize that time is not linear; it's circular. And,
yeah.
You know,
or infinite. I thought. Like,
well, yeah. There you go. But eventually, you get to the end, and then rather than it just being the end, it starts all over again. Yeah. So I mean, there's a lot of things that the Great Filter could be, which the Great Filter being a theoretical thing that will eventually wipe out a society. Once it becomes so technologically advanced, something always is theorized to happen that wipes out that society. Like they think this happens throughout the universe because there are obviously many, many planets that have had life at certain stages, and eventually that society comes to an end. Like there's almost no way around it in this theory. So whether it's AI or whether it's slamming particles together, not knowing what's going to happen.
And this is when they discovered something called, quote unquote, the God particle.
Yeah.
I mean,
in 2012.
2012. Yes. And that's when I think CERN was started to experiment with this, right? Right in 2012.
That's when they fired up the collider the first time.
Yes. And we're not being conspiracy theorists here or anything.
No, this is just what people say.
Yeah,
There's no proof.
Fact.
That's what people say is the reason the Mandela effect happens.
Right,
because there is no way to prove the Mandela effect.
Well, no. What I'm saying is it's fact that they discovered the God particle in 2012.
Yes.
It's fact that they did create CERN and started experimenting in 2012, right?
Yes.
Which is where the theory of the Mandela effect comes from.
Yeah, or the common theory at least, yeah.
Now, all right, so in your heart of hearts, is Mandela, the Mandela effect, a real thing? I'm talking to Larry Smokey Ramirez Cowan. Is the Mandela effect a real thing to you?
If I can't say anything. I'm agnostic about everything, so I don't know for sure. But I would say if more people have it happen than not, then I would tend to lean toward yes, it is a real thing.
Right.
Rather than just a misremembrance. That's also the skeptics' theory, is that it's just mass misremembering things. And somehow it just catches on. But
that's a lot of people, though, dude.
It's so many people that tends to not make sense to me. But there's always going to be people. There's going to be someone in the comments that say, no, it's all BS.
Yeah.
That's of course.
And, this particular episode, we're going to, try to name a few that are in music-related Mandela effects. And if you guys know any that have struck you because me and Smokey, again, this is how we talk on a daily basis. Like, we talk about the craziest things, whether it be Mandela effect to nuclear, anything. We talk about everything. So if you guys have any that we don't list in this episode, please leave down in the comments, because we would love to hear that.
And I'll say this disclaimer right up front. Don't take this too seriously. No. We are not proclaiming anything. We are not saying this is an absolute fact. It's just a fun topic to talk about.
It is. Like I just said, this is us. This is how we talk.
Yes.
This is just how we talk.
Exactly.
It's fun. So now let's start with, okay, we know plenty of Mandela effects, and we'll touch on a few of them. But so one that we brought up, and I think we actually posted this in a
poll.
In a poll.
Yeah.
And I can't.
Was it the Stofers one you're talking about?
You Can Dance? No, You Can Dance.
Oh, You Can Dance. Oh, yeah.
Who sings that song? Do you know?
I was gonna say Men at Work.
Is it Men at Work?
No, is it? The Safety Dance is the name of the song.
Okay, so
you can dance if you wanna, and that's where it comes in, because
Men Without Hats.
Men Without Hats. That's it.
Right. So now I can fully vouch for this. I can fully say I remember this.
Yeah, I do too.
To the point where I called my mom and I said, "Mom, you know that song that says blank dance if you wanna, blank leave your friends behind?" She's like, "Yeah," and she started to sing it the way I knew it. The way you knew it.
When I was a kid, I had this VHS tape of a movie called Biodome, Pauly Shore.
Yeah.
And he actually had a run of movies back in the day, and then he just disappeared one day. But
his mom's a legend, though.
Yeah, the Comedy Store.
Yes.
Yeah,
Mitzi.
But in that movie, they played the song, and they were all dancing around to it. And I remember watching this movie several times as a kid. You can dance if you wanna. You can leave your
friends behind.
Yeah.
And if they don't dance, and if you don't dance, then they're no friends of mine.
And now it's actually we can dance. Yes.
Trash talkers, look me in my eye. Look me in my eye and tell me y'all don't remember. You can dance if you want to. You can leave your friends behind. According to history, that's incorrect. It's we can dance if we want. We can dance if we want to. I don't remember that. I'm sorry.
I think I don't remember what the poll said, but it's probably about 50-50
I would say
people that remember it one way or the other.
Yeah. And a lot of these Mandela effects, that we go over today, me and Smokey don't agree on all of them. Like we had a text or a message the other day, and you was like, "Is it Home Depot or the Home Depot?"
Yeah.
And you remember just Home Depot.
Yes.
I always remember the Home Depot.
Yeah.
So
I always thought it just said Home Depot.
I think that's a Southern thing. It's like, hey man, come on down. Like you said, give me a little bit or little bitty instead of a little bit. Just give me a little bit, little bitty.
A little bitty piece.
Yeah, just a little bitty piece. But no, I've always remembered the Home Depot.
Yeah, and maybe it's just because the way people say it, they always say Home Depot. Mm-hmm. But I visually look at it in my head, and I don't see the on there. But now if you look at one of the stores, it says the Home Depot.
Yeah, and now I remember that. But now that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's hundreds of them.
So do you have any like?
Yeah, for music.
Oh, yeah. Wait, what were you about to say?
I was gonna say there's a few more we could run through real quick, like Jif versus Jiffy.
Now,
I kind of remember Jif myself.
You?
Yeah,
for real.
I don't know. Jiffy, I think that came from Jiffy Lube. Is why people started saying Jiffy.
See, I'm 50-50 here because I think I remember Jiffy, but then Jif, but then it's like, wait, no, it was just Jiffy. Mm-hmm. And again, I'm a mama's boy. I call my mama on everything, and she's like, my mom agrees with you. She says, yes, it was a Jif.
Yeah.
But apparently there was no such thing as Jif peanut butter. Never.
Yeah.
And another crazy one, the Britney Spears song. Oh, baby.
Oh, well, we can get into the music ones if you want.
We'll just go through another one. But just the small, subtle one in that is, remember she was in the hallway, right?
Yes.
What color? She had you remember having the
schoolgirl outfit with the plaid red skirt.
Thank you.
Yes, that's exactly what I remember seeing her because I was in school and as a young teenage boy, you pay attention when Britney Spears is on TV.
And that was the hottest jam at the time.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Turns out it wasn't red or plaid.
No.
It's all black.
Yeah, that's what they're saying now. But I remember the red plaid skirt just like a lot of people do.
I mean, there's so many, like, even the Fruit of the Loom.
Without the cornucopia.
Dude, I remember so much to the fact. I remember, this might be one of my earliest memories as a child, is being at my grandma's house. I might have been like, maybe 4 or 5. And, I would wear, your grandma put you in your nice little pajamas right before you go to.
Yeah.
And I remember looking at it, and it was like, I remember asking her, Grandma, what is that? And she was like, it's a cornucopia. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Turns out
there's never been one.
Never.
Yeah. I always thought there was a cornucopia there. Yeah. And as a kid, you notice things like that. You notice the tag on your underwear or something. I always remember there being a cornucopia, but it never existed.
I mean, see, but is it just... I mean, to me, there has to be something other than just misidentification of things.
You would think.
It has to. And again, this is what we were talking about with CERN earlier. Maybe they slammed these particles together in 2012. And y'all remember, in 2012, everybody was freaking out. Oh, this is when the world was going to end. I remember some comedian had said, he's like, dude, I literally thought the world was going to end because he said he had like 3 or 4 things in his cabinet, like food, canned vegetables, and he said that the date of expiration was December 12, 2012. I mean, December 21st, 2012. He was like, dude, I've got canned vegetables that say, according to everyone flipping out that the world's going to end in 2012. I have canned vegetables that say this expires this day.
Yeah.
And it's like, so when the world is going through a frenzy and they're like, hey, the world's going to end. Maybe the world did end, just not in a physical form.
Or maybe that was when we jumped to a different reality.
Explain.
Well, I mean, it is a consensus that amongst the scientific community that there are multiple universes. There are multiple realities in the millions and billions, infinitely, some even theorize. So, therefore, if it is a consensus and we all agree that there are multiple universes, there has to be a way to get from one universe to the other. There has to be some way through the miracle of physics that it is possible to jump. Now, and colliding particles could just be that
one of those ways.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's like you said, it may be this may be one of the reasons why the Mandela effect is a real thing, is because there may be an infinite amount, or like I said, an infinite amount of universes. So you might have one universe that's very, very close to our universe. Where, and listen, y'all, the human brain can't even your brain can't wrap around it. Like when they say there's an infinite amount of universes, that it's hard to wrap your brain literally.
Oh, infinity doesn't make sense to the human mind.
It's impossible. Literally, there is infinity, Hollywood, and Smokes right now, sitting down to that pause right there. Yeah. This is happening somewhere else, an infinite amount of time.
And there's also one where you didn't pause.
Yes, or also you're sitting here and I'm sitting, or your name's Hollywood and I'm smoking.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, that's how crazy it is. But what with the Mandela effect thing is like, maybe we're experiencing these Mandela effects is because the universe, we might have one universe that's so close to us, and then another universe that's so close to, every now and then they might just merge, and we're very similar, nothing changes, you still got your name, but there's just subtle nuances, subtle small things, like the Berenstain Bears versus the Baron.
That's the biggest one, that and Mandela, of course, but
I think the biggest is Shazam, dude.
You think? I think, I don't know,
yeah,
I hear more
Mandela
about Berenstain.
Because I remember.
But Mandela, the one that it was named for, I remember as a kid that he died in prison. Yes. That was a thing that was talked about in my childhood.
I think I even remember them having like a parade or something, or like a like when they took Biggie and Tupac, or when they took Biggie all around New York. I think I remember them doing that like in South Africa somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, there would have been, you would think.
Yeah.
If it actually happened, but apparently it didn't.
Turns out it didn't, man.
Yeah, and there's also the simulation theory. You know, we could get into that, but we need to get into the music side of the Mandela effect.
Yeah. I mean, because, guys, just Google some of the things about the Mandela effect, not pertaining to music if you want to. I mean, we can sit here and talk about this all day long, but because of the constraints of time.
Yeah.
What you got? You got any, as far as... I mean,
so the first one I wanted to bring up, you have a list that you want to bring up too,
I have
right?
a few.
All right. We covered this song. It's probably been 2 years ago, but Metallica's Fade to Black. You remember in Fade to Black, I believe it's the first line where he says, life, the original, what we remember is, life it seems to fade away.
Life it seems to fade away.
Okay, so life it seems to fade away is what we remember, right? Because I actually went back and listened to this song again. I watched our reaction to this. I still hear life it seems to fade away.
Yes.
But he doesn't say that. He actually says life it seems will fade away.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Because I remember playing that song after we did the reaction, like, you know, for
life it seems to fade away.
Yes.
So maybe
he says will?
Yeah, he says life it seems will fade away. Maybe this is one where the way he said it in the song, his cadence and his delivery, that it's just, you could actually hear whatever you wanted to hear. But the official lyrics is life it seems will fade away.
Wow.
Now there's probably 100 Mandela effects dealing with music and a single word in the lyrics that seems different than the way everybody said. Like, you can dance if you want to. Yeah,
it's we can dance, man. So looking at that with the Metallica one, could it be that maybe what that's Ride the Lightning, right?
Yes.
What year do you think that came out?
Oh man,
just take a guess randomly.
It's in the 80s.
All right, so 80s. Could it be
late 80s? I would think.
Could it be, so when we do reactions, and y'all know we don't check anything out before we react to it, and if we did, we're gonna tell you. But could it be that maybe me and you heard "Life It Seems to Fade Away" because of the audio quality?
Oh yeah, that could be a possibility.
Yeah, but then again, you're taking two people sitting here. Like, how is it like me and you, we're sitting here, we're listening to the song, we both remember "To Fade Away," but it's not that.
Well, and it is crazy too that I still go back and listen to it and still hear "To Fade Away."
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, before I go on to mine, you know, there's a video I saw, and I think I sent it to you. Remember, the guy had a book of the Berenstain Bears?
Yes.
And he was literally
it was like he was crossing into a different reality. He would hold the book and show him he walked into a room and the word changed right in front of your eyes. Now, you could say that's just video editing or some special effects, but if that is special effects, like, this is movie quality, and he's just recording on his phone.
On a dirt cheap phone, too.
Yeah, if he
was
faked that, that is the best fake I've ever seen.
And what it is like Smokey said, he had a book that said, again, this is a Mandela Effect. Me and Smokey growing up, we remember the Berenstain, right? Is it Steen or Stain? Which one do you remember?
I remember Berenstain.
Okay, and isn't that what it is?
No, it's Berenstain now.
Stain?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, so I remember Berenstain, and that's and because my name is Behringer. I always thought of Baron, you know, I mixed it together. But this guy had a book where it says, you know, Stein. He crosses in a doorway, Stain.
Yes.
Crosses back, Stein. And it's so weird, man. It just makes you ask questions. And me and Smokey, we question everything. But I mean, what do you think that was about? Like,
okay, if it's not faked, then he actually has a room in his house that is a portal into the old reality somehow. It's crazy to think, but that could be an actual portal. When he walks in there, that is his old reality. When he walks out, he's back in the new reality. Or he could just be a wizard at editing video.
Yeah, I mean, you guys go see if you guys can find that. But it's
definitely. Yeah, that's a great video to sit and wonder about.
So I've got one for you. You ready for this?
Yeah.
All right. So sweet. All right. I'm just. It's by the song. By the Eurythmics. I think their name is.
The Eurythmics. Yeah.
What's their most popular song? Marilyn Manson did it.
Sweet dreams are made of these. Annie Lennox.
Incorrect. I remember, sweet dreams are made of these. Yeah. Whoever thought to... They don't say sweet dreams are made of these. You know what they say?
What is it?
Sweet dreams are made of this.
This. Oh, I have heard this one. Yeah. Yeah, it still sounds like these to me.
Now, we could chalk it off as to their accent. If they're not from...
Yeah, that's another one. It could be the accent.
Yes, made of these.
But everybody sings it as these.
But even if you look at Marilyn Manson's version...
Didn't he say these?
These.
Yeah.
What happened there? You know?
He sang it the way he heard it, I imagine.
Yes. I mean... Literally it says, you know, everyone's, and they did a poll and they said 65 or 75% of people remember sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I to disagree?
Yeah.
I've traveled the world in the 7 seas. But now it's became sweet dreams are made of this. It doesn't even rhyme. That's my thing. It
doesn't make sense either, does it?
No, it doesn't. Sweet dreams are made of these.
Are made of this. That's not even phonetically correct.
Yeah, grammatically correct.
Grammatically, yeah.
Now, let's just say sweet dreams are made of this. Whoever thought to disagree traveled the world in the 7 seas? No. What it should be, which we remember as kids, sweet dreams are made of these, traveled the world and the 7 seas. Who am I to disagree? Everyone is looking.
I mean, I guess I could make sense of it if she's using dreams as plural. You could say of this. Sweet dreams are made of this.
Sweet dreams are made.
But you would think, since dreams are plural, she would say these.
It's called the Mandela Effect.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't make sense of it.
It's just so weird, dude. What would? How crazy would it be if me and you dug up like our vault of some of our old CDs
and some of the words are changed, even though we wrote them?
Wait a minute. Why do I feel like that's happened to me? No, but it might have because I've found songs where I'm like, I don't remember. Yes, you did it when Paca posted a chunk up the deuce for.
Yeah.
I have no recollection. Granted, there was a lot of substances during that time.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't remember doing that at all. I mean, bits and pieces, and maybe that's because of that 2012 ending when and again, all hypothetical here, we're just talking, but maybe that just was like, hey, particle collide, Jiffy changes, Looney Tunes changes, you know, all these things changes, your verse on this changes, you know, and it's like, wait, I don't remember saying it that way.
Yeah, could be. And it could be songs that you have in the vault that you didn't even record at all because you were from a different reality.
Man, that is just so crazy.
It is.
About, dude.
Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. Do you know about them?
Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. Is that Joan Jett?
I love rock and roll. So put another dime in the jukebox, baby.
I love rock and roll. So
yeah.
Come on around and dance with me.
So the first line of the verse in that song, she says, where did I have it at? I saw him standing there by the record machine. That's what I remember.
Okay.
I saw him standing there by the record machine.
Yes.
Okay, she didn't say that.
What'd she say?
I saw him.
The way you said that. How'd she say it, Smoke?
She said, I saw him dancing there by the record machine. That's what it says. She said,
what?
I saw him dancing there by the record machine.
It is.
I've heard this song in passing for many years.
That doesn't. No, that can't be right.
And I swear it's. I saw him standing there by the. I mean, this song is on movies. Like this is one of those inescapable songs. If you've lived over the past 30 years, you've heard this song.
Yes.
Yeah.
Man, that again, man. It's. I would like to speak to some of these artists and be like, did you say this, or do you remember writing this?
That's the thing. I was gonna say that with Annie Lennox. I want to know what she says about it.
Yeah.
You know,
like with Kate Bush's song that came out, she's like, what if she's like, it just got to #1. She's like, dude, I don't even remember recording that, you know, but I'll take it.
Or if she's like, that song hit #1 37 years
ago. And
we
don't remember that, but she's like, we're...
And nobody else is like, no, we don't have any record of that.
How crazy would that be with her getting these world records and #1s and platinum plaques? And she's
and
like...
she just knows deep in her mind, like, no, that's already happened.
Yeah, I've got 14...
Better not say anything, though.
Yeah, don't say anything.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy. So another one I got, which isn't really... it is music related, but it's more... of the title of some names. Okay. So disappearing of the quote unquote in band names. For instance, let me read this. So I think all right. So I remember album covers and references as far as back as early '70s to bandits like Carpenters, the Eagles. The Carpenters, the Eagles, the Ramones, the Bee Gees. No. Or, I'm sorry. Wait, am I reading this wrong? For back as the early 70s to bands like Carpenters, Eagles, Ramones, Bee Gees, and the Carpenters. The Eagles, the Ramones, and the Bee Gees that I clearly saw printed on the original album covers. Now if I go back to these covers, the is gone. So really? It's not the Bee Gees. It's not the Ramones. It's not the Eagles. It's just Eagles. It's just Ramones. It's just Bee Gees. And there's a lot, actually, dude.
Wow.
It's not the Carpenters. It's Carpenters.
I wonder if that is just putting the on something to make sense.
I mean, I think it's just the way we speak, maybe.
Yeah. But yeah, I've always said, you know, the Eagles or the Ramones.
Wow, this is crazy. I don't know.
Are there more listed?
Well, okay, Pink Floyd. Tell me an album you know by Pink Floyd.
The Wall.
Okay. The Dark Side of the Moon?
Yeah.
There's no the. It's just Dark Side of the Moon.
Huh.
Which I have a shirt, and I should know that, but I feel like...
I can tell you every time I've said that in the past, I would say the Dark Side of the Moon.
It's, I mean, just small things. And to people who are watching this, and you may like, what does it matter? What is it? It doesn't, you know, who cares? What if it is? What it is just... look outside the box for a minute there. Like, look at it like something is going on. Or, like Smokey said earlier, just could be mass...
misremembering.
Yes, it could be that, but...
and if you're that skeptical, I mean, yes, go with that theory. Go with just mass remembering. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
But some people want to see the wonder in things. Some people want to see the mysticism. Some people want to think there's more to life than just what we see in front of our eyes. It's just, it makes life more interesting.
Yeah, to question.
Yes.
It's like, you don't want to be spoon-fed everything. You don't want to be said, like history. When it comes to history, it's called his story. It's a story that wants to be told. And history, but you got to look at it. If we take things from way back in the day, I mean, these are accounts that some have been spoken, some have been like, there's books missing from the Bible, and it's like, did our forefathers just pick, hey, don't tell that part of history, do tell that part of history? So it's like,
that's definitely happened. Kings have actually taken books out. I mean, there's been mass book burnings.
Yes. Or even like Christopher Columbus, or I'm not saying he I think Christopher Columbus was on the way to, I think he was trying to go to India, but he ended up in America. Yeah. But what if there's so much more in that we didn't know? What if he actually stopped by the UK and said, hey, let me go pick up some homeboys? Like, they emit some...
Well, he came from Portugal, right?
Or Spain.
But he is Portuguese originally, right?
I thought he was a Spaniard.
I think he was originally Portuguese. I don't know. We'd have to look it up, but it doesn't apply to the Mandela Effect.
No, I'm just saying, when you look at history, and I'm going on the tangent of questioning things, because anything, like, some things we just don't know. We just have to take at face value because of what's written down now. Because when someone tells you something, you're just like, a lot of teachers, a lot of people who speak things, and we could be doing this right now, they just regurgitate what they hear. It's like, well, did you do the research? You get what I'm going here? Like, okay, you
tie it into the Mandela Effect, because
tying it all together is, if we believe something happened a certain way with Kit Kat, or what's another, Fruit of the Looms, or anything like that, if we believe that happening, if these particles hit, what if they just took out pieces? Like, you don't need that, I'm trying to find a way to bring it together, as far as because we really don't know unless we don't know what we're looking at right now. As far as the Mandela Effect, all this could be true, and me and you could just be losing our minds. Bottom line is, we don't know. We just remember what we remember, because this is what we heard, this is what we told.
Yeah.
I mean, am I going off here?
I think I see what you're saying. In a way. But yeah, I mean, that could be how it started. I think that's what you're trying to say, is that could be how it started.
Yeah, help me out here.
There are people who are influential in the world said one thing, and then the world remembers it as that because they heard it that way from a certain person or a certain group of people. One person could add "the" to the Ramones or Ramones.
Thank you.
And then people are going to call them the Ramones. That's from that
exactly
point on.
what I was trying to say. Thank you. Go ahead.
I was hoping that was what you were trying to say.
Yeah, you got me. Go ahead.
But let's get into the big one.
Well, I got a big one. What's
okay. All right. Well, maybe this is the second biggest one.
Yours might be bigger than mine.
I think we actually covered this one before, but since this is a big music-related one.
Well, let's see whose is bigger.
Queen.
Oh, yeah.
We are the champions.
Of the world.
Of the world. Okay, so
Yours
he does say it in the
mine,
song.
by the way.
And since this Mandela Effect came out, I actually went back and listened to the song.
Wait a minute. What did you just say? You said it does?
He does say it in the song, not at the end of the song. That's what people are questioning. And this may be the reason why people think that it's supposed to be on there. And also, I didn't go back and watch, but I think in the Mighty Ducks Part 2, I think it was, or 2 or 3, I can't remember. But as a kid, I remember them sitting around a campfire and singing "We Are the Champions" after they had won the championship.
And then the little kid comes in and says,
of the world.
I do remember that.
Yeah. So in the song, he says that in the verses beforehand. Now, at the very end of the song, it just ends with, "We are the champions."
And it fades.
Yes.
But I remember, "Of the world."
Yeah, exactly. So I always thought at the very end of that song, he says, "Of the world," and then it's over. But he doesn't say it. It's just, "We are the champions," and it's over.
Keep going with that, because I think we posted that as a community poll as well, and I'm curious to see what the.
Now, it could be either the Mighty Ducks or people just remembering him saying that in the song earlier on the other hooks at the very end of the other choruses. He says it, and then at the very end of the song, he doesn't say it, and people just fill it in with their minds. Of the world.
Man, but you can't tell me you don't remember that, Smokey.
Oh, I do. I mean, in my head, I remember him saying that at the very end of the song.
And Trash Talkers, please leave comments on this. Tell us, do y'all remember that?
Yeah.
I mean, I want to find this poll because I remember poll. What if I didn't? What if it's not on here?
There's a Mandela effect.
What if that's... Let's see. What?
I always heard it as Of the World at the very end of the song.
Wow. By the way, all right, so we did one. Which one is correct from the song Safety Dance by Men with Hats? 61% of people say they remember We Can Dance If We Want To. And 39% say they remember You Can Dance If You Can Want To.
So that's one that more people remember the other way.
Yeah.
The new way.
You can still say, that's a pretty good ratio as far as number. Like, still 40% of people, that's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Dang it, I gotta find.
I bet. You know what I find funny is some people get mad about it.
What do you mean?
Like, you can dig through this comment. Some people get mad about people misremembering this. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, just try to have fun. That's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't have to be so serious.
Yeah.
Like, guys, if a lot of people remember it the other way, it's not hurting anyone.
It's good to have
it's
conversation.
It's nothing to be furious about.
No, have conversation.
Yeah.
Just talk about things,
You don't have to get mad and cuss at people for remembering it a different way than you.
Dang it, dude. If I can't find this is crazy.
I'll say I don't think I remember you putting that poll out. We've done Mandela Effects plenty of times, but I don't remember the Queen poll.
Dude, this is gonna blow my mind. But another one. While I'm looking at this, we put out who makes stove or who makes.
Oh yeah, the Stouffer's Toast. That one blew my mind.
Yeah, that one got
because
me there.
I remember as a kid seeing a commercial for Stouffer's Stovetop Stuffing.
Yes.
And it's a tongue twister, Stouffer's Stovetop Stuffing. And I remember in the commercial, the people were conflicted on how to say it because it was a tongue twister. Mm-hmm. But Stouffer's didn't make stovetop stuffing.
No, it was Kraft.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
There was no commercial in my childhood that said Kraft stovetop stuffing.
That is crazy.
And I think originally, as the story goes, originally it was just stovetop that made it, and then Kraft bought stovetop
again
stuffing.
though, and I can't find what I was looking for, but I'm pretty sure, dude. But no,
Stouffer's never owned stovetop.
And I don't know if this is a Southern thing, but me and Smokey, my mom, people that I know, people at work, they all remember Stouffer's. I had a line. I might have been 11 or 12. It was a rap line, and I said, "You really think you hard, but you know you always bluffing. Put you on the stove and eat you up like Stouffer's stovetop stuffing." Mm-hmm. And so technically the dude beat me in the rap battle because what I said was not factual.
It didn't even exist.
It didn't even exist.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know, dude. I got one more.
Okay.
So you had said yours might be bigger, but yours is bigger than mine. I'll say that.
Is it?
Yeah. I don't think this one might be as big, but the song "Gangsta's Paradise" by Coolio.
Okay.
All right. How's the hook go?
Been spending most of our lives living in a gangster's paradise.
Incorrect.
What is it?
They been spending. So there's a they. They've been spending most. I just remember been spending.
Yeah, I don't remember they being in there.
They've been spending most. And why would you say our lives? They've been spending most our lives. Right? That doesn't even make sense.
It doesn't.
They've been spending.
I remember him coming in.
Bro, they've been spending most their lives. I remember been spending most our lives living in a gangsta's paradise.
Wow.
But he says they've been spending most their lives. Wow.
Really?
Yes.
I always thought it was in the first person.
The thirst version?
What did I say?
Thirst first.
Did I say that? I thought I said first person.
First person. Go ahead.
I always remember it being in the first person.
I remember as well. Man, there's
been spending most our lives living in the gangsters.
But he says,
really?
They've been spending most of their lives.
I do remember seeing it on an award show one time, and I guess the guy who sang that was religious. Mm-hmm. So he actually added a verse at the very end, and he was saying, "There's gonna be no gangsters living in paradise." And
what?
yeah, I guess the guy who sang that part was religious, so he kind of made it into a gospel thing at the very end. On that show. I don't remember. Maybe it was the Grammys or something.
Can I bring one more up real quick?
What you got?
So there's one that they have on here by Smooth Criminal by Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
So I remember, I'm not even going to read what the article says, but what I remember, maybe, and you can let me know if you remember this, is you've been struck by, you've been hit by a smooth criminal. All right. So it says, I've asked a few diehard MJ fans out there, and none of them remember him saying hit by. They remember it always being hit and then struck.
Yeah.
So he never said hit by. You've been hit by. Oh wait, also wait, pretty much
a smooth criminal.
The only cover I found. So also pretty much every cover out there forgot to repeat hit. Instead they say struck. I don't know if that makes sense because you read that. Smooth Criminal. It says, I've asked a few diehard MJ fans out there, and none of them remember him repeating hit by.
Oh, so they're saying you've been hit by, you've been hit by.
Huh.
Well, hold on. I'm gonna bring up the lyrics.
It's you've been hit by. No, it's you've been
Smooth Criminal lyrics.
You've been struck by. No, is it
you've been hit by. You've been struck by.
But
a smooth criminal.
So they're saying he said hit by twice.
I guess that's what it's saying. Right here. You've been hit.
Wow.
He doesn't say struck.
Wow. Dude.
I swear to God, he says struck.
I swear to God, he does, dude.
You've been hit by. You've been struck by a smooth criminal.
Wait. No, he and then he even he does say it
later
at
in
the
the
end.
song.
You've been hit by. You've been struck by.
So earlier in the song, he says hit by twice. That sounds like when he was recording it, he just messed up. And then later in the song, he put in what he was reading, you know?
It's like...
The first time he said hit twice.
You've been hit by... Dude.
But I don't remember him saying hit twice at all.
Not at all. Man, and I don't... Michael Jackson was a perfectionist with his music, so...
That sounds weird that he would just leave that in. Yeah. Or... that he would let the engineer leave that in.
Yeah, because me and Smokey, when we record, I mean, if like Smokey, sometimes he'll record if he's like a slight offbeat, or if he says the instead of, he's like
and I'm redo it.
I'm the same way. If I say something and I have to like catch a breath, I'm like no, and it's something that most people don't even notice. Like we didn't notice this.
No, not at all.
Until it was pointed out, you know.
Yep.
It's crazy, man.
That does sound like. I would be willing to bet a lot of money that on his paper where he had the lyrics laid out, it said struck, and he just messed up in the recording and said hit twice, and they left it in somehow. Or it was the other way around, and it was supposed to be hit by twice. And then later in there, he added struck by just to break up the monotony.
Possibly. Yeah, before we get to OMG and WTF, I got one more for you. The song Ice Cube. I mean, the song Ice Cube. Ice Cube's most popular song. What's the name of that song?
It Was a Good Day.
Damn, you remember that. I remember Today Was a Good Day.
I mean, he says Today Was a Good Day.
I thought the name of the song was Today Was a Good... Yes, he does
Gotta say, Today Was a Good Day.
And I thought that was the name of the song, but it turns out you're from the universe where you remember, because it was a good day.
Yeah, but that's the way I've always said it.
It was man, I always said today was a good day. I don't know.
Or you know what? I may have actually started saying it differently
after 2012 when the Large Hadron Collider slammed.
I might have actually seen it somewhere more recently. But I mean, I bet back in the day I said today was a good day.
Yeah. And again, hanging around, it also has something to do with who you hang around and your parents and the way you're brought up. Because if they say it, you're gonna say it. That's why accents are a thing. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean,
that's why you could take somebody from England if they were born or before they started talking. You bring them to America and raise them with an American family. They're gonna have an American accent, even though their parents are English.
Oh. Dude.
Even people who are raised with a certain accent once they hang around a different culture for a certain amount of years, they start speaking like that culture rather than their original accent.
Right.
So yeah, it probably plays into what you've heard people around you say the most.
So I'm just gonna read this one because I know you like this song and you educated me on this. Remember the song "All the Kids with the Pumped Up
Kicks better run, outrun my gun."
All right, we're not gonna talk about how.
Yeah.
I don't know what this is gonna say, but I'm reading on these. But if y'all don't know the meaning to that song, it's pretty messed up.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
But it says "Pumped Up Kicks" by Foster the People said. When do you remember that song being played in your childhood?
No, that's
or like 95. Okay, so you do remember that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are saying that they remember that song being played anywhere from 86 to 96.
Now, I will say, the first time I heard it,
it sounded
familiar. Yes. And it was one of those things where I'm like, I don't know why I know this melody.
You're right.
But it sounded familiar the first time I heard it.
And what if it was, like, what if it was back in the day and it came back out? Because he's saying pumped up kicks. When you were a kid, you had the pumped up.
Yeah, I did.
No one wears those now.
The Reebok pumps.
Yeah, they even had I think the Shaq pumps too. You got made fun of those.
I had some Voids. Oh, I had the Franklin pumps also.
This
you only got those
just say Franklin
at Walmart.
Pumps.
No, Kmart. They were Kmart brand. I had a pair of the Kmart Franklin pumps. We used to actually when the shoes wore out, you would take the pumps out and play with them.
Oh yeah, I remember that. But no, that would be crazy. I'm sure this isn't the case, but wouldn't that be crazy if that song did come out in the 95s when the pumps were big? And it's like
it would make sense.
Because when I first heard it, I thought that song sounded familiar.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I do remember John Cena wearing pumps, and I was like, where do you get those?
Oh, they're back in style.
Well, now,
yeah,
I'm talking about back in like 05.
Yeah.
Like, where did he get those? Like, they weren't selling those in 05, were they?
Isn't that kind of a scam? Because they were like, oh, they make you jump faster.
Oh, I know. They didn't do anything.
They didn't do none of that, dude.
See, I had, everybody had the Reebok pumps, right? So the other brands, the cheaper brands started.
Franklin's?
Yeah, Franklin's. And Voight. I had a pair of Voights. They actually pumped around the heel instead of on the tongue.
Huh.
So you would pump them in the heel around your Achilles.
Would get tighter?
Yeah. Didn't do anything. Anyway, it didn't really matter.
It's just a cool thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, like I showed you the other day, y'all. If y'all want to see the cool thing that the new hip kids are buying, there's these the brand Balenciaga. Just type in brand new Balenciaga shoes. You are going to flip out. When first of all, they cost about $2,000 to $3,000. But when you see the picture of these new Balenciaga, just type Balenciaga dirt shoes.
You get you a pair of Chuck Taylors. Mm-hmm. Wear them out.
I mean,
wear them till there's holes in them.
Give them to a pit
Cut
bull.
the grass in them. Yeah. Let your dog eat holes in them. Then write Balenciaga on the side.
Balenciaga.
And you got $3,000 shoes.
Yes. Yeah.
Stupid in my opinion.
Hey, man.
People into what they into. I can. Art is subjective. I guess.
Art is subjective. I think this is a great segue to go into some OMG. And some
WTF.
Absolutely. And guys, if this is your first time here, Oh My G, it does not stand for Oh My God. It stands for Oh My Georgia.
Oh My Georgia.
And WTF does not stand for What the it stands for
What the Florida.
Absolutely. Would you like to go first or would you like me to go first?
Who went first last time?
Oh God, well my phone
I think I went first last time.
My phone died, so.
Oh, I guess I'm going first.
It looks like you're going first. God dang it.
Alright. What the Florida, man. I don't even have the date on this one for some reason.
Okay.
I think it was 2019, though, if I recall. Okay. The headline says, a Florida man woke up in the middle of the night to find another man sucking his toes.
No, bruh.
Yeah.
No.
That's the headline.
Wait.
So this man was asleep in his bed.
Okay.
And woke up and noticed there was another man not only in his house, not only in his bedroom, at the foot of his bed, sucking his toes.
What the
What the Florida, man?
What the Florida, dude?
Alright, so it says, A Florida man woke up in the middle of the night to find another man sucking on his toes, according to Manatee County Sheriff's Office.
Smokey, just listen to this sentence you just said.
I read it. I heard it back. Yes, and that's what it says.
Continue. I apologize.
Deputies say the man was sleeping in his bed in Bradenton when he woke up and realized he wasn't alone. According to, I'm going to leave out his name. Yeah. The man told deputies he assumed he was being robbed, so he told the intruder he didn't have any money.
I'll just suck your toes in the meantime.
But money was not what he was there for. The intruder told the man he was there to suck on his toes.
Wait, so he did it while he was awake?
He did. He was doing it while he was asleep.
And then he woke up and said...
He woke up and he was like, no, I'm not robbing you. I'm not robbing you. Just want to suck on your toes.
Okay.
The intruder told the man he was there to suck on his toes, according to the investigation. That's when the man punched the accused toe sucker.
See, that was going to be my next question was the guy armed? Because if he was armed, I'm like, bro, suck away.
Oh, he was armed with them arms, with them fists, man. He was throwing hands with him.
For real.
That's when the man punched the accused and forced him outside, according to investigators. While the two brawled, the man who sucked on the toes told the other man he had a gun and tried to fondle him again.
No. What the Florida?
The man continued to hit the intruder. He didn't believe that he had a gun. Continued to hit him for about 30 seconds before running inside and calling 911. At this point, the intruder broke out the front window of the home, stomped on the man's car and windshield until he broke it. Investigators said the toe-sucking man took off. So they tried to track him with a K9, but were unable.
The toe-sucking bandit is still on the loose.
He's still at large. He's out there finding more toes to suck on.
Oh, man, what the Florida, dude?
What the Florida, man?
Dude, it takes a lot to break in someone's... He had to have like some mental illness or drug or something.
Yeah, it's drugs or mental illness, Rick.
Oh, dude, we got to bring that back.
Yeah,
what do you think? Drugs or mental illness? In that case,
I say mental illness. I mean, a lot would argue. We made that before that. Drug addiction is a mental illness, and I agree.
Yes, it is.
But in this case, was it strictly mental illness, or was the man on drugs when he did it? I'm going to say mental illness. Yes.
And if y'all don't know what drugs or mental illness is it even okay for us to bring that back?
I don't know.
Think about that now.
Well, I mean, I guess some people will get offensive saying that we're making fun of mental illness, which we're not. We're just trying to make a determination whether this guy needs more help or more help.
Yes, and which area does he need more help in?
Yes.
My phone died, so I can't give an OMG, but I can bring up an OMG, Oh My Georgia, that you can help me on.
What you got?
Tell them about the time you saw a satanic ritual.
Oh, man.
Oh my Georgia.
Oh, man, that was an Oh My Georgia right there.
Break it down.
I'm guessing this was around 2003. And this was back during the party days. And we had a house where everybody would come to hang out and party. We recorded music there. People hung out there all the time. People stayed there day and night. They come to just hang out and party, basically. And, just being young people, we all hung out and had fun. Mm-hmm. So one night, it's a weekend night, we decide one of our friends has a camera.
Right.
Let's do something cool with the camera. Like, we got a camera. And this was back in the days when nobody had cameras on their phones. It's 2003.
Was it one of them, big...
It wasn't that. It was a camcorder, but it wasn't, like, small like the camcorders that you see nowadays. Mm. But it was, a pretty girthy one. But it wasn't like the shoulder up here,
A girthy one.
It wasn't that girthy. I'll show you girth.
I bet.
But so there's this old dirt road at the end of the neighborhood. Like, you go down Butler Bridge, and there's Barrington here, and that's the neighborhood where we lived, and all the kids were there. Every bad kid in the city, it seemed, lived in that neighborhood.
Me and you were there quite often.
It was one of those neighborhoods.
Okay.
So down on the other end, that's where a lot of nefarious stuff would take place, down on the dirt road, because it was pretty much secluded. Mm-hmm. You'd go out there to hang out with girls or do whatever you want to do.
They get it.
Yeah.
They get it.
So we decided to take the camera down there and just mess around. We didn't expect to see anything, but we called this like the Barrington, what was the witch movie?
Blair Witch Project.
Blair Witch Project was pretty big a few years before that. What was that, like 98, 99?
What y'all call it, the Barrington Witch Project?
Yeah, pretty much. Maybe some harsher words thrown in there too. But yeah, so we were like, let's just see if we can find something crazy. You know, we got those woods back there. It's a dirt road. And things happen on that dirt road. A lot of things. And some bad things have happened on that dirt road. Let's see if we can find something. So we get down to the most secluded part of the road. And it overlooks the river down below. This is the only part where you can look over and see the river from the road. We get there, we notice there's a bonfire going off down by the river.
And what time is this?
3 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
Between 2 and 3, somewhere in that period. And so I'm like, hey, pull up so I can, film what's going on down there. So we got up there, we stopped. And I stood up in the back of the truck and I zoomed in on them. And what I saw was people dancing around this bonfire and chanting. And I couldn't tell you exactly what they were doing, but it didn't look godly. It didn't look like the church was hanging out there.
Maybe the church, but a different kind of church.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
There were people screaming. There were people sounding like they were dying. And what I did, I zoomed in, and I was like, holy shit, y'all see this, right? And they're all looking. They're getting scared. Like, eyes are like saucers, dude.
Wait, the people you were with or the people?
Yeah, the people who were in the truck here.
So, I don't mean to interrupt, but the people that you saw down there, did they have on robes or like any?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't the clearest view. Now, we're on an old school camcorder.
Yeah.
So it didn't get perfect, but I zoomed in as far as I could. It's hard to tell exactly the garb they were wearing, but it did seem to be uniform in nature. Like they were all wearing the same colors, which seemed to be black, but it was 3 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, so they're dancing around this bonfire like in a circle, and people are screaming while they're doing it, and they're chanting over the top of the screams. So at one point, you can actually see it on the videotape, which we don't have anymore. It mysteriously disappeared.
Yeah, you got to get to that part, but go ahead.
When we watched it back, you could actually hear someone point out that we were up there.
Like, hey, there they are?
Yeah, yeah. And somebody, I said it on the tape, it said, go get them. And at that point, my buddy Big Mike was driving. He lost it. I'm standing up in the back of the truck, and all of a sudden the truck moves out from under me.
Oh, man.
So I fall over back there. People in the truck are screaming because they think we're about to die.
Yeah.
Like everybody in that truck thought this is where we die tonight.
Right.
So the people started moving forward when the truck moved out from under me. I fall down, and we are doing like 60 down a windy dirt road, just sliding sideways around curves and stuff. We loop all the way back around and get home, and then we look at the camera and realize that we caught something crazy that we don't know what it was, but it was crazy what was going on down there.
And go ahead.
And so I was like interviewing people when we got back to the house, and I was like, "What did you see?"
The old trash talker.
And yeah, like people were like, their eyes were just huge. Like, I don't know what that was. I don't know what it was, but it was scary, you know.
And what happened to the tape?
It disappeared. I have talked to everybody who was there that night. That tape is nowhere to be found. Now, the guy had a boss that he worked for. He borrowed that camera from him. I don't even know why he borrowed it, but we had the camera that night. He eventually gave it back. He said that he saved the tape, and the tape disappeared. We never saw it again. If we could ever find that tape, I would pay lots of money to see it again. But
I want to see that tape.
I do too, man.
I know exactly the place you're talking about, and I know exactly how eerie this place can be sometimes.
Oh, it's a scary place, man.
Yeah,
there's some crazy stuff. I mean, there's been so much stuff happen on that road. There's like a gun range down there. There's these crazy woods that look like they were planted. It looks like the woods in Mortal Kombat.
Oh, the talking trees.
Well, in Mortal Kombat, you know where he had to fight Scorpio.
Oh, you're talking about the movie?
Yeah, in the movie.
Yeah, Scorpion.
So he had to fight Scorpio, and
Scorpion.
get over here,
Scorpion.
Yeah, Scorpion. But yeah, there's a section that looks like that where the trees are all in a row and planted.
I think I know what you're talking
People
about.
have committed suicide on that road. People
see
have...
that's what if that was like some ritual, like some ritual.
That's what we were assuming it was. No one knows for sure except for probably the people that were down there chanting and screaming. But we came back the next day when during the day, you know, we had to just, we're curious kids, you know. T-Slim didn't go. He
of course, like, I don't blame him.
No part
I
of
don't blame him.
T-Slim was not getting out there.
I'm with T-Slim all day.
But we crept back out there trying to figure out exactly what was happening the night before. We found this cooler on the side of the road.
Listen to this, y'all.
We opened up the cooler to see what was in it. There was actually kittens and puppies inside the cooler. And there were aluminum foil wrapped around their heads and their tails, and it looked like they had been electrocuted somehow.
Something happened that night.
You know, looking back on it, we probably should have called the police or something.
You absolutely should have called the police.
But we were kids, you know, and we lived under that code. You don't call the police. You don't talk to police, you know.
Yeah, man. Oh, my Georgia.
It was crazy.
Oh, my Georgia.
I would pay a lot of money to see that video again.
If anybody that was on that beach that night that chased my dog and made him fall in that in the truck, if y'all happen to have that tape, we will pay for it.
I've talked to the people who were there, and nobody seems to have it.
I can vouch for that because I'm not gonna say I didn't believe Smokey, but I'm like, yeah, right. Somebody took the tape, and he actually called one of the people that was there, and he was like, dude, we have no clue. We have no clue where that tape's at.
Yeah, I've talked to several of them, and one of the guys actually dead now.
Oh, rest in peace, man.
Yeah, but yeah, it's a crazy event that happened, and we still to this day don't know what it was. We all just assumed it was some kind of satanic ritual or something, and they were doing some crazy things down there. Oh, my Georgia, dude. Oh, my Georgia. Smokey, let them know how they can get on the show. Yeah, if you guys have a crazy story that happened in your neighborhood, or it's just some folklore that you've heard your whole life that you want to share with us. Funny. It's going to be something funny, too. Yeah, it could be funny. You can have tell us about the time your grandma... No, I'm going to say grandma fell down the stairs. No, don't do that, dude. Don't do that. That's sad. No. Tell us about the time your grandma farted in your face. Come on, keep digging, buddy. Keep digging. Come on. Never mind. Stop. All right, tell us about anything that's just crazy or funny that happened around your neck of the woods that you want to share with the world, and we will listen to it on the podcast. So leave us a audio clip of you telling the story within a few minutes. Yes. And send it to the email down in the description. Down in the bottom. And we can play you on the show and analyze your story. Absolutely, man. This is a great episode, dude. Yeah. This is a great one. Probably one of my favorites so far, man. You think? I would say one of my favorites so far. Sweet. You got anything else, man? I think I said it all, man. That's awesome. Yo, amazing week of reactions coming up. Thank you guys so much for checking out the podcast. If you guys got any ideas on what we should do for next podcast, leave them down in the comments. With that being said, my name is Untitled Hollywood. 6-bye. I am Larry Smokey Ramirez Cowan. And we are over and out. Deuces.